Hi, my call dot one. This is your girl Lenora, and I'm back with another video. And today, I just want to talk to my teenagers, young adult people on today. And the reason I'm bringing this video is because I have a son that he's actually my nephew who was adopted from birth. I had him, and he's 16, and he did something last school year, probably like in April, maybe I'm not sure, February, April, May. He decided because he had liked this girl. Either the girl and him might have been talking, or I think probably what happened is when you meet a group of friends, you cool with them, and you know how that go when you with people. They if it's boys or girls, it could be two of them may like you, and I think that they probably both liked at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. Or she just probably was being cool with all of them, with my nephew, which is my son, and another guy. But my son liked her, and I guess thought they was gonna go together. I thought he wasn't even sure. That he said he thought they was talking, but they weren't talking. I guess he liked her. She might have been a cool person. But his friend ended up going with her. Now he said, so my son was upset. He said to me, he ended up hitting this guy, and his friend jumped in, so they kind of jumped him. Now my son is 98 pounds. His jump is like a baby hit. He didn't do no real damage, but his friend getting in kind of, you bruised his ego. His friend getting in was a little more heavier, but it wasn't a serious jump, but it's still a jump is a jump. And another female was recording. I think other people might have been recording. And my son snuck him from like the back, behind, from like the side. And I didn't know about this because the kid that it happened with didn't go to his school. He would just meet them there, I guess, to hang out. So I didn't find out. A teacher called me for my son about something else and mentioned the fight. And because it didn't happen in the school, they didn't call. It wasn't nothing. That bothered me too. But my son ended up, and his friend ended up jumping this kid. It wasn't a long jump, but it doesn't matter. It was a jump at the end of the day, and it was recorded by some. I know a female was recording because I could hear her laughing and giggling. So fast forward, and I told my son when I found out, and when I saw the video. I'm trying to think. I didn't see the video at first. I found out and from the teacher. And when I spoke to him, I said, if I had these kids' numbers, I said what the kid parents should have did was get both of y'all arrested. Press charges on both of y'all for what y'all did. And I told him that from out the gate. And because the lady said the kid didn't go to school, I figured they didn't have a number. Me personally, I wanted to speak to the boy's parent, make my son apologize. And my son said he apologized later, but I wanted to, as a parent, bring my son and make him apologize and speak to the mom because that wasn't right. Never had the number, never happened, but I was getting on my son to tell him how, like, I just saw a change in him last semester and last year, and just how his behaviors can cause that. His behaviors can cause situations to come back. Fast forward, like about 2 months later, it's these three guys in my building, and I open my door and I'm like, good morning. Like, good morning, because they kind of shocked me. One was sitting down. The third guy was sitting down on the steps, sleep. Like, like, because it was too early. About 7 in the morning. Maybe even a little, like 7 in the morning. So they kind of shocked me sitting out there. And the two of the other boys said good morning. But then when I went out, I don't know if I was going to drop the garbage out or something. I opened my door up again. This time they're looking up like, but they have face masks on. Probably both times they have face masks on, but it's kind of cool. I didn't think nothing. But this time you could see the face masks on. And you could tell their hands are in their pockets where you know they had weapons. I was like, but not thinking about my son. I'm not thinking they coming for my son. I live in a building with 3 floors, 2 apartments on each floor. So on the 3rd floor is a kid that do live up there, and he's involved in the gang, and because his friends look like these boys, they come in and and so I thought these were his friends. I don't really think nothing, but I said, but when I saw their mask on their hand, I said, no, these are not his friends. These look like they're coming to get him, and he don't know about it. Now, I don't have the boy's mother's number. I didn't want to go upstairs and knock on the door, and they hear it because it's a small building. So I said, when I get out, I'm going to have my kid's father call the lady because he had her number, and I'll tell him to tell her son to be mindful that these 3 boys are downstairs. So we're leaving out the building. My daughter with her daughter, me with I have 2 small kids, 7. They're 7 and 9 now. At the time, they was, I think, 7 and 8. So we leaving out the building, And I told my daughter before she left, be mindful. You know, it's 3 guys in the building. And so we went down, and it's 2 different cars. So we going down. My daughter, when I came down, I was the last one to come down. My daughter said, no, they walking down the block. So I said, okay, good. They left. Mind you, I believe they had on book bags. So, you know, they student. But I'm like, okay. I didn't take nothing left. This is a Monday. Tuesday, and I drive my kids to school. So on Tuesday, my son said he didn't want to drive. He'll take the train. Because when I drive him, he gets to school early. So I said, okay, that's one less drop off for me. I could drop off my little ones, and I could take myself to work. So I didn't mind. Nothing happened fine. Wednesday, my job, on Tuesday, we ran out of coffee cream. So I sent my son to the store before we left, which is something I never do in the morning. I said, you know what? Let me send you to the corner store to buy some coffee cream so I could bring it to work. That way I don't have to make no stops after work. I drop my kids, boom, boom, go upstairs. My son goes to the store, and once he comes back, and I was dressed, all I had to do, I was, I think, spraying my hair, doing my hair. So I was already dressed. Everybody was ready to go. My daughter, it's not her norm for her to stay at my house during this time, but she was there. So every now and then she stayed, so she had to leave early. So I didn't think nothing of it. The house is busy, and I just hear some scuffling. I'm not nosy neighbor. When I say nosy, not being nosy, I'm that neighbor in the building of 6 apartments. I want to make sure my neighbors are good. Because I do stuff that I want people to have done for me or do for me. Because I have been through some things. And I said, if you hear something, say something. If you could help, help. So I hear scuffling, but mind you, the house is busy because it's morning. We're able to get ready. And then I'm like, let me go to the door, make sure none of my neighbors fighting, because I'm in a building where they probably fighting with each other. It could be arguments. And so I said, it's not the apartment, but it sounds like it's coming from downstairs, because now I open my house door so you can hear it more. So I go down, and I see the 3 boys look like they fighting each other. The same 3 boys that was there that Monday. Now I look on the floor, I see it's my son. They're stumping my son on the floor. So now I'm mama bear. Get the fuck off my son. I'm running, and Jesus left the building a little bit because my mouth was... But I was going down to get them. I said, I may not catch 3, but if I catch one of them, they're going to get it. So I'm running down to catch them. They ran out. After they saw me, they ran out. And so now I run upstairs to the 3rd floor because I'm thinking, yo, that boy is the gang, the guy that live upstairs and that's gang in the gang or hang with these type of guys. I said, I'm going upstairs because it got to be his friends. And he going to tell me who they are. It's going to be a problem and the cops or whatever. So when I get upstairs, I'm banging on the mother door. Bam, 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 bam. And I feel bad because she's a cool person. I'm banging on the door. She don't have a chance to get ready. Her wig is off. You call her in her raw. I feel so bad because it wasn't the best sight I wanted to see. Anyway, so I'm knocking on the door and I'm like, yo, it was 3 boys that jumped my son. Is those your son's friends? And you know, I'm going off. I'm not really going. I'm just asking but I'm pissed. And she was like, 3 boys. She's like, no. And then my son comes upstairs, the one that got jumped. He was like, no. He's like, no, I know them. That's the kid that he had to fight with. So I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. And the lady, she wasn't prepared. Her wig and stuff wasn't on. So she's like, I'm going to come down. No, and I'm going to come down. Because I said, my son just got jumped and there's 3 boys. And she said, no, I'm going to come down. And so I go back down because now my son told me he know the kids. So I said, okay, so it ain't have nothing to do with her son. So he said, those are the kids. That's the boy he had a fight with. And I said, damn, they come to the... I said, well, how they get your address? Because now I'm like, damn, it's one thing to jump somebody, but coming to your house? And he said it was one time the kid ordered him an Uber Eats. So he said he probably got the address from the Uber Eats. Because remember, these were friends. They were friends at one point. I just never met them. They never came to my house. And so it was 3 of them. And my building have cameras inside, out, all over. So I got the video. And I just thank God that my son's head game was good. Covering his head was good. I'm glad that I interrupted it because one of them, when they ran out, it was like a fingernail foul size knife. And it looked like, it was just one of them fingernail knives, but they didn't have the red edges on it. So I don't know if that was a knife. I don't know what that was, but he had it, and it was found when they left. It was a yellow little handle, and when they left, it was on the floor. And I said, "Damn, they came with a knife." So to me at the time, I said they was gonna plan on using that, and even if it wasn't just to, I said either to dig him up maybe, or I'm wondering it because he's my son that I'm adopting. My sister's very fair skinned, so he's fair skinned, little pretty boy. So I said, unless they probably was coming to cut his face or something. You know, a lot of stuff is going on like that. But I was pissed. But then like I got on my son, I use this as a teachable moment as well. Of course, we had to call the cops. We had to go to the hospital and make sure he didn't have no head trauma. And God is good. Even though they did all that, he just had like a little red. He was able to go to school the next day. Not the next day. We kept him home the next day. The day after, he went to school. And I think they probably was pissed with that because if you tell people you jumping them and you did all this stuff, and he come to school no marks. I thought the next day he was going to have black and blue eyes or something like that. No marks. I said, we serve an awesome God. But I told my son, the consequences of doing things, your actions cause a reaction. And this is a payback for what you did to this boy. Now he coming back. Unfortunately for him, though, like I said, with his parents, I don't think his mom might have known what happened. I'm going to call the cops and I'm going to press charges because that's what should have been done. And I told him he should have done that to you. But because he decided to take it in his own hands, me as a parent, I'm going to press charges because you come to my building. I have small kids. It's 3 of y'all. The one boy could have fought my son and would have won. 2, okay. 3, no. And then you're stumping on his head. I thank God they ain't do no other parts of his body because they could have broken. Because he's about this big. So he's 98 pounds the most. He's 16 now, slender. And I told him, I said, the Bible teaches because you reap what you sow. Because you did what you did, it came back. I said, we don't have an eye. And then a revelation came to me. I was like, sometimes I think we should have do eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth sometimes. Some of the stuff that people do. But we don't say that anymore. Is you reap what you sow. So it is still like an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. So my son reaped what he sowed by doing what he doing. And I said, in the video, I saw the video. My son ain't go as hard as they was coming for your head. And I told him, I said, they was stumping your head. He said, well, that's what people do when they get jumped. I said, there's not many things that come out of getting stumped on the head. Either you're going to be in a coma, you're going to die, or serious traumatic issues that could mess up your whole body, your whole life. And I thank God that and of all my family, my daughter said, I heard his voice. Because he said he was trying to call mom. So she must have heard mom, whatever, but he has a voice, you can understand, you know. And my daughter said, I heard him calling, but I said, you ain't open the door? And all my neighbors, I didn't go to all of them, but the ones I went to, they was like, I heard something, but I said, y'all hear and nobody opens their door? And then I said, you know what, you can't be mad, because I was mad at the time, like, because I'm the one, if it was you, if that was their kid, I would have been on it. Nobody's different, no different. But I was like, you know why, what does it matter to them? All their family was in the house. And even though I'm looking, I didn't think nothing of my son going to the store. I didn't think of him being out there like, oh my God, it might be my son. I didn't even think of that. I forgot he was out there. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just something going on. And that was a lesson learned. And I said, the problem is with my son. I said, you reap what you sow. And I said, how you going to get it back? And I said, you didn't do as much that he did to you. But I said, if you're thinking of trying to pay him back, how you going to overdo? Because the thing with kids and their minds or people, I got to get them and they want to get it better. If he did that and was stumping on your head, trying to stump you out, they was doing it, but his head game was good. His covering game was good, so they didn't really, and they was interrupted. And I think they wanted to try to record it too. They looked like they had the phone recording, and they stole his phone. His phone fell out his pocket, so the video showed a big boy picking it up. It was a heavy set, big dude picked it up. So I'm like, when you doing these things, and like I said, the kid is upset because they jumped him, and I understand that. Trust me and believe it. But again, actions cause reactions. How could this situation have been handled? My son said he had apologized to the boy for what he had done, but he said then they got back into an argument, and then my son said he was egging him on. So I said, I guess when they got in an argument, probably was like, I'm gonna come get you out. And my son probably, my son's mouth makes you want to punch him in the neck. My son makes you want to beat his ass. His mouth is very disrespectful. Even when he playing the games, I have to be like, yo, they on the game system, and I'm like, yo, you have to. This is just a game. This is a game. And even though he's playing with his friends, I said, you know, you could make a person not like you by the way you move and on your game, the way you talking. Because even though it's a game, I mean, that's right. So, and I have to tell him, like, you have to be mindful of stuff. The negative part about all this, I don't feel safe in my building because they know where we live at. And this happened a few months ago, so I can go back and tell you, like, a few months ago, they caught 2 of them. They didn't catch the third one. They know their names. These are students. the one that my son fought, he ended up getting like 2 months probation. He just, for the summer, had to be good. But what I want to tell kids is how to handle situations. My issue with the people is like, and this is for young adults, teenagers, adults, because even we have some adults that's just aging, but they're still kids at heart mentally because they don't have the emotional intelligence. And how this situation, and I have a family member that is a no nonsense person. He's a type that no question asked type thing. And I said, because he's like, oh, I'm coming to the block. I said, no, he thought it was from a block. I said, no, this is not the block. And I told him what happened. These guys, I believe, came back again, but my landlord didn't want to give the video of what happened. And then my thing is, I didn't tell my brother this. And I said, I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. But I was walking out every day with a knife because I said, and I go out before my son. I have to let me check, make sure they're not out of the car. They're trying to come back every day. I was doing this for the first couple of weeks. And I was like, the one day I didn't bring the knife, I forgot it. I believe they was 2 of them sitting out there. They were sitting up looking like innocent kids. This time they didn't have the mask on because I guess they know, since they're hiding their faces, knowing who they were. And I opened my door to get ready to go out, and I'm like, yeah, back again? I only saw 2, but my youngest son said he saw the 3rd person. So the fact that you're coming back, I said, in the morning, they moved early. My camera showed that they were out there like 6:30, 6:38. So they early because I guess, but I found out from a neighbor months later that they came out on a Friday first in the afternoon, but my son gets out early on Friday. So while they sitting out there waiting, he was already home sleeping, taking a nap because he gets out early. They didn't know that. So, and then the neighbor had said something to them about being on the block. So I guess they said, you know what? It's not smart or safe to come out on the block in the afternoon, come in the morning, which is good because you element of surprise. They would have caught my son surprising him anyway because they sat across the street. My son don't know nobody on the block. He ain't paying no mind. You're not thinking nobody's coming for you. So they were sitting right across the street. So when he was going to be opening his door or coming up to his door, they were going to come in like a wolf pack. Either way it go, it would have been an element of surprise for him. But this time they caught him. And in my building, we have 2 doors before you get outside. The first door to go out is no windows. It's just a solid door. And the second door has glass. So by him going out to the store, 2 of them was between the double doors. So when you open it, you think you're in there by yourself. So when they opened it, they saw him and they attacked him through there. The big guy was sitting on the steps. He didn't know my son. My son had said, excuse me, because he had to pass the step. The kid moved over. He don't know who he's looking for. But the video showed when he heard the tussling, he knew, and he got up. And he's the one that opened the door, pulled my son down, and then started stomping, and they followed. So, because at first they was fighting. It was a fight, you could see them fist hitting on my son with their fists. And I was just like, I'm just thankful that he's alive. The fact that you came back to the house, then I believe it was him, you came back. And my issues, even the first time, you don't know the weapons a person have in their house. You don't know the people that they have. You in the building. What if somebody would have opened up, like, y'all are kids, could have murdered y'all in that building? And the fact that they came back the second time, I believe that was the second time. And I said so to myself, and I told my son, I don't think he was made to get up. It's one thing stomping. And then I'm like, the second time I said, to me, they coming to kill. So he was missing like weeks out of school and stuff like that. To me, they got him a decent enough. I said, maybe they didn't get the video they wanted to record, or I don't know what the issue was. And I was like, God is good, because the day that we was close, it was like, when you open my door, it's a little thing that you could sit on, kind of. So and they're sitting, and he's sitting there like, and they don't know who I am. I realize they don't know who I am. They don't know I'm his mom or nothing like that. So they like, and I'll say you back again. So maybe they put 2 and 2 together, but they didn't know who I was. The guys, the 2 of them just looking at me like innocent, chocolate little children as they are. And then I didn't have the knife, and I said, I was just thanking the Lord. Thank you that I didn't, because who knows, my frustration, my piss off, my fear. Because I told the detectives and everything when it happened, I'm going for their jugular. I'm not going for a slice. I'm going for their jugular. And especially if you're coming back to me, you're coming back to kill him. So before to kill him, I'm going to do something for you. And my thing is with kids that's in the gang, you don't have to be a gang, or even if you want to get back, take it the legal way. Take it to the adults. My whole idea for this message is how to handle it. Now they jumped the second boy that my son jumped in. They jumped that boy. They caught him recently. So this is months apart. I think the kid that got probation, 2 of them was caught. One got probation. I think when he waited for his probation to be over, only 2 months for the summer, school just started. They came. I believe I saw the big one across the street. So they don't live in the neighborhood, but they're coming. They're around to me. I don't know. My son didn't get a chance to see the big one because the trees was blocking from his view. He didn't have school that day. I went downstairs and I drove, and I believe they coming back. And I said, y'all don't know what people have. Y'all don't know, like, the block. If I could make a phone call and tell neighborhood people to come, and like they boom, 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 they right here. Like, y'all have to be smarter. And the second boy that they attacked, and I said they attacked him while he was getting his aunt car going to school again in the morning. And that was an extra kid. They added four of them, and they jumped him. Now his father, this kid's father, been to jail. He's been good out of jail 15 years, trying to live right. You know, one of those type of people. They're waking up they're waking up the beast in people. And then is a kid that was walking with the kid that got jumped. He's mad because that kid didn't help him and jump in. But the kid I said he has to go to school with my son. Now my son wouldn't have did nothing to him if I'd have known that. I didn't know that kid that got jumped friend. I thought they was two friends that didn't go to the school. Had I known the boy that he was walking with went to the school, I would have used the school to get involved in contact and all that. But this just came out. But so now they saying they want to get the kid that was walking with him and didn't help him. And I'm like, if you was a real friend, because they used to go to junior high school together, and this not right now they're in high school, and the kid, you came to a school that this boy went to, he didn't know you was coming there. He just happened to see you. Y'all went to junior high school. Yeah, I guess they lived close in the neighborhood, so he was going to ride the bus. This happened after school. So you want him to help you, which like I said, they caught them both. The boy was caught off surprise. Then he has to go to school with these guys. If you really sit back and think like, damn, he got to go with school. If he would help me, what's gonna happen to him? You don't go to the school, but it's being said by the school that they want to come for him. Now his mother's a Christian, love the Lord. I spoke with her. I was able to get on the phone with her and the boy that got jumped on. I guess she has custody of him as well. And I was speaking to them, and the mother of the third boy, who has nothing, he was innocent, has nothing to do with this. I apologize to both of them for my son. If my son didn't hit that boy, this would have never happened, because I don't know if the second kid decided to jump in, if they planned this. I don't know. I would hope not. I just think that he probably saw my son being 98 pounds, wasn't going to make it. Because when the girl stopped the video, my son, because when you see the video before it stopped, the boy was starting to fight my son back. And my son, all you have to do is kick his feet from underneath him. His mouth is big, but his fight is not. So the video cut off. I said, my son probably got beat up. Who knows? But maybe not. But I noticed before that happened, the second boy got it. And I think he got it because he saw my son would have needed help. That's what I think happened. They don't admit it, but that's what I think happened. I think my son said he didn't expect the boy to jump in, but I said, knowing if you a friend thinking, he ain't got that lifestyle. The boy jumped in, and then that's where you messed up at. Both of them messed up. But the third boy that was just walking with the kid, you want to fight him for not getting in. And the problem with this is, out of the 4 boys, it's 3 of them. The mother of the third boy knows one of the boys. They live right across the street from her. He came to her house before, but she said she didn't really like him because his mannerism or whatever. But if you plan on getting him, I'm like, don't you know? Because they wear a mask, but I think they think that nobody knows who they are. Everybody knows who you guys are. So if you planned on doing that, and maybe he don't know that the third boy knows that they're gonna attack him, they plan on attacking him, but you live across the street from this kid. So the second boy mother, the aunt wanted the address. Now the third boy mother, I guess, because she don't want to put nobody's life at danger, she didn't give the address. She just said the location where she live at. And she kind of good, because I probably at this point here and then they did this to 2 of them. And because we are 2 adults who are around to kind of intervene on those fights, they didn't go as bad as they was. The second kid got stitches over his eyes and stuff, but there's pain and stuff like that. But what would you do for the third kid? The mother's a Christian, cool person, but she said his cousin, I guess on the dad's side, will be walking him to school. And she said, and we said, well, one person walking, we said it's 4 guys that's involved now. She said he's blood and he can handle himself. So that lets me know that, to me, there's a weapon involved. That means that one person is about that life, like my family member. And for one with 4, you have to have a gun. So I personally believe that he has a gun. So these young kids don't know. Y'all think you're planning on coming to get this third kid, and his family members is around with a gun. Could be a knife, whatever it is. They know where one of you live at. So you see how, and I blame my son for all of this though. But then now you have to know when to stop. You have to know when enough is enough. And this is why you see these. I watch the news and I'm seeing what could have been done that a 14-year-old got killed. They want to kill a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old. And it's stupid stuff like this. I love the Lord. And you when you see stuff like this and when you don't know when to stop, because they jumped my son, you got it. I was like, love, peace, happy, you won. That's the end of it. Let it be the end. But y'all coming back. Y'all jumped the second one. Like I told the aunt, them two deserved it. They did what they did. They got their payback. The third boy had nothing to do with this. He's a good kid and the program and stuff. He don't deserve that. And I feel like you reap what you sow. And I said, if they attack that kid, then you're going to reap what you sow in another way. It's going to come back to you in another way. I can't, the two that got jumped, I can't say much. I said, damn, they did what they did and it came back just worse than what y'all did a little bit. But y'all alive, no head traumas, no nothing. Thank God. But when do you guys stop? What does it take for you to stop? Now, if this kid say it looked like he want to get the third person, he's content after he got the third person. When you got the two, you should have been content. The two that put their hands on you, like I got them two back. Good, we got them good. Boom, I feel content. Well, the third person, leave them alone. I feel like their situation will change for the worst if they go for that third kid because he wasn't a part of it. He had nothing to do with it. And my thing is with you young kids, you have to learn how to use your words. You have to learn how to speak. You have to learn to talk how you feel and not with all that attitude. And everything shouldn't be a fight. Everything shouldn't be weapons. Everything shouldn't be gang, one to jump and all that stuff. Let's talk about it. I got on my son. I said, you fighting over a girl that ain't even your girl. I think that he just found out the girl and the guy was going together and he was jealous and he wanted the girl and she didn't want him. And probably not in the worst way. I'm not going to say she was playing both of them because the way my son made it sound like, oh, I was talking to this girl and he was supposed to be my friend and he found out he was going behind my back trying to talk to her. And I told him if that was the case, all you had to do is be like, yo, what you did was grimy, that's messed up. And and choose not to be a friend of his. You don't have to be his friend. But to put your hands on him, I said you assaulted him and you was wrong. Over a girl that ain't your girl? 50 because their hormones are jumping up. Girls come a dime a dozen. And you have to be prepared. Everybody's not going to want to be with you. They pick who they want to be, and you have to be okay with that. And now we got to look over our shoulders every morning all the time and wonder, because I was driving, but I got in an accident, so I don't drive. We have to get on the train. And at first, I was going paranoid before the second boy got jumped. Had nothing to do. It was just like, you don't know when they're going to end. Are they still coming? All these things like that. And I said, you never know when they're going to end. And my thing is, y'all bring the monster out of people. People walking with knives. My son was walking with a knife. And when it first happened, I was like, you got your weapon? Then I said, no, we have to trust God. I'm on a prayer line. I believe in God. We pray. And I said, we have to put this in God's hands. I hid the knife. My daughter bought him a big hunting knife. I said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to trust God. We have to trust God. And I'm not going to lie and tell you that it was easy and it's day by day. But as I was getting comfortable with it, when I said, you know what, I'm trusting him and we not looking. I'm not searching behind cars. We're going to go out. I'm doing this thing. It was working. And then I even started saying, I got to start praying with my kids again in the morning. No, we did it at night. I used to pray in the morning and at night. But I started at the night before. I said the devil tried to put fear in you. That's why we have to be mindful. The night before, I prayed with all the kids together. We did a prayer together. The next day, we found out that the second boy got jumped. I said, that's the enemy trick. Trying to take me off of take me back to my fears and stuff. But I said, I'm still trusting God. I'm trusting God. And I said, it's day by day. I said, I'm not going to, like my son, I ride with him to school. We ride the same train to school, but I don't get off with him. I let him go down but I know he's scared. And because after school, he don't come straight home, and I don't really hound him because I think he figured if they waiting after school, they'll be waiting a while, so they'll leave. So I think he waits after school for a while. But in the morning, he don't leave without me leaving. So it was time before they jumped that boy. I was seeing people, if it looked like, because I said they're not going to be able to come the same way. I said, but if they're going to come, they have to send somebody that don't know him. They don't know him. So I was saying it's got to be by pictures. So when I see somebody on the train look like they looking at the picture and looking up, thinking they looking at us, paranoia was setting in. My mind mentally was going. I would text my son, we getting off the next stop. He'd be like, well, he'll get off. We get off. And I'm like, you're taking I'll put him in a cab. Like, you're taking a cab. I said, because I wasn't sure. But it was nothing. It was when the enemy come in and mess with your mind, Jesus, the stuff that you do, the way you respond to things. So I just want to thank God that I'm trusting him, and I have to now, because they jumped a kid, and like I said, there's an extra person, a fourth person. Do you want to come back? You don't know how these kids think. They're teenagers, and I'm praying for their salvation. I'm actually praying that they get saved, because I feel like if they keep on this road, because now I feel like you tasted blood, meaning that they got a taste of how jumping is. And even during this, my son, when it first happened, my son was like, the kid that he hit, he's like, he's a good kid. He don't feel this is really him doing it. He think it's his friends putting him up to it. And I said, it doesn't matter. He's doing, it could be him. I said, I feel like they woke up a beast. Like, y'all did him wrong and he's upset. And he got rights to be upset. I'm not knocking that. And I just want them to handle things different. And I think as teenagers, you have to learn how to handle things differently. How to handle things differently. Go to an adult. Go to a teacher. I'm a little upset with the school because the teachers know a lot of stuff. I guess the kids come to the teachers and tell them stuff. And I personally feel like the kids are not doing that just to gossip. I think they actually doing that so that the teachers and them can do something to help these kids, like to save them from the stuff that's coming. But like I said, the school is one thing. Parents talk to your kids about the whole situation of an issue, how to deal with it. We have to get to them and let them know how to handle issues better than how they're doing it, how to avoid issues, how to talk through issues, how to be okay to disagree with certain things, how to let go. Like, it's different personalities, different situations, how to move in a situation that don't end up getting them killed, getting them jumped, getting them in jail, because you don't want to wreck it. And you don't want you don't want to kill nobody. You don't want to, because once they're dead, they can't come back. Just food for thought. Use your words wisely. Get a journal. Write things out. Talk it out. Walk it out. Dance it out. Rap it out. Do whatever you have to do to get your anger out, because a lot of it is from anger. Discuss it. Get a punching bag. Go to a gym. Take it out in kickboxing. Do what you have to do. But work on how you communicate. Work on how you handle situations. My son was wrong, but a big lesson learned. I seen a change in him. Sometimes I said, Lord, all things bad work for good for those who love the Lord. And this was for a humbling thing for him. And this let him see you can't respond how you want to respond, because I was getting on him. Your actions brought a reaction, and they brought it back to our house. So not only are you in danger, we in danger. They wanted that. And I thank God that they're not those hardcore gangster kids, because they're out there. They could have ran up in our house. They could do so many different things. But because that's not their lifestyle, prayerfully yet, they don't get there and go that far. But by them coming to the building was enough. Coming to where you live at was enough. Now, if they was really, 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 really gangster, those people, you got someone to kick your door in. You understand? Like, thank God they didn't have a knife. Well, that boy had a knife, but thank God they didn't have a gun. You know, like they could shoot. Thank God. We see the news every day. Thank God. And I'm praying that they don't escalate. And I'm praying, like I said, my son caused this, and I'm praying that it end. I'm hoping, and I gave the third kid mother the number. They both have the number of the kid that they jumped. So, and the mother of the third kid asked me, should I have my son call him? I said, no, at this point, because they're jumping. They already passed that. As the adults, I said, you as the mom, try to talk to him. You try to get to his parent. Because she said she didn't want to go across the street to the boy parent, because that kid, according to cops, was getting arrested since he was 9. And I think they're just building a case, waiting for him to do something vicious so they could put him away for a long time. And they think, and I told the detective and them, y'all letting them, the DA and them, they're letting them get off without, like, smacks on the wrist. But they don't care about these boys. They said, well, it's not like he was stabbed, shot, or murdered. That's when they want to get in. They helping these kids build, they letting these kids build themselves up So when they do something more gruesome, they have a whole record of showing what they have done and getting them more time. I told my son, jail's a business. Jail's a business. They're trying to see how many people they could get in there because it's a business. And y'all falling right victim to it. And this is that I want to get to my brothers to just find things to do. Get in programs. Do stuff after school. Do stuff on the weekend. Volunteer. Get a job. Can't get a job, volunteer. Do something positive to stay out these streets. Do something positive to free up your mind. If home ain't good, try to find a friend that got a home that the parents accept you in there and let you be in there. Don't use that time to skip school. Get your education. Get your education. Look around. Look at people doing jobs. I said they need to do a thing. I see people doing certain jobs, and I'm glad they're working. But you see people of a certain age doing a job, and I said that's because they didn't do what they had to do when they was younger, and this is what they stuck with. Don't be that person. Go to school. Y'all teenagers, younger, all y'all have to do right now is go to school and graduate. Then go to college. Go to college. And if you don't want college, get a trade. Go to trade school. Y'all got Instagram, YouTube, so much things y'all could be doing to be making resources, online businesses, and things of that nature. Use what you guys got. Y'all have these phones, smartphones. Use them for your benefit. Girls, if y'all can do here. Find something. Make a cut hair, dread hair. Do whatever you have to do to earn extra income. Keep you busy. When you working and stuff, you don't have time for the streets. Get out of the drama. And stay away from weed, hookah, alcohol, and all of the other drugs and pills that's out there. There's nothing good that's coming out of those. Nothing. Don't think that you can outdo. You see so many people that live this lifestyle, how bad it went for many of them. Don't think that it ain't going to happen to you. Don't think you're invincible. When you're a teenager, you feel invincible. Look it up. It's online. You feel invincible. You feel like nothing could happen to you. There's a part of the age group that I don't know why, and it's probably used so that you can do better in life and do much more greater things, like take that fear out to do something that's hard to do, but you feel invincible. So you feel like you could do stuff and it don't come back to you. Look up all them young people that has lost their life. And the sad thing is over stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. That could have been repairable. That could have been fixed with a conversation. And many of them are losing their lives to their friends, from the people they know, hung out with. So be mindful of what you say on Facebook. You can't take words back. Be mindful of the things you do. Be mindful of your friends. If you know you're not about that life, don't hang around them friends at all. And you can't say, well, I didn't do nothing. It don't work like that. If you're around somebody and crime happened, you going down with the crime. If you're around that person and you did something to somebody and the people are coming back, they're not going to say, oh, no, don't get him. If they saw you was there, you'll get it. Use wisdom so your life can be long. Obey your parents. You would never outdo your parents. I don't care if your parents can't read or write. Their life lived longer than yours, so they know when we live longer, we know things that you guys don't know. We live longer, we know the situations at hand. You guys don't. You're just coming out. So slow down in life and enjoy life and do what God has created you to do. He made you wonderfully in his image and likeness. Many of y'all don't want to believe in God, but that's okay. Look at those that serve in God and look at those that are not, and look at their life. And even those that are not, that serving God may be going through stuff, they have an anchor, which is Christ Jesus. Get into a church if you're not there. And they have groups, usually a lot of churches cater to the young people. Get involved. Be busy for the Lord. Be blessed. I love you. Jesus love you.